Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be starting shortly. We encourage you to get to your seats as you can, especially you government types. I see you networking. I know it's hard to sit down. You can continue networking. We love you. We see you. But yes, as you can, please get your snacks. Get to your seats as you can. Continue the connections, and we'll be starting shortly. Thank you. Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone. How you doing? You good? Okay. So my name is Jeff Day. It is such a pleasure to have you all here. You're going to learn a lot more about what this space, what some black leaders, a lot of different friends, and lots of leaders of different types have been cooking up for a while. And I'm just really excited. This is a moment that I'm savoring, so just thank you again. Today, I want to begin our presentation with a land acknowledgement. If you practice or if this is something that's important to you, please feel free, close your eyes. You can stand. Please listen and feel. We acknowledge that the land where we now gather is the traditional territory of the Puyallup tribe, who have stewarded this land for generations and continue to do so today. We recognize their enduring connection to this place, and we honor their knowledge, culture, and sovereignty. We also acknowledge the first black landholders, John and Mary Connor, George Putnam Riley, and so many others who sought to make this neighborhood a haven for black folks who sought refuge from Jim Crow and segregation and other forms of discrimination. We recognize the significant contributions of the black families and homeowners, landowners, who built lives, businesses, and cultural assets in this neighborhood we now call Hilltop. As we breathe into this space, we are mindful of the layered histories it holds. We commit to honoring these legacies by engaging in development practices that are inclusive, equitable, and rooted in respect for those that came before us and those who will come after us. It is my honor to welcome you today. This event means so much to me, and you'll hear about that later. Me and my colleagues, and I know many of you in the audience too, we couldn't be here without you. I want to take a moment to recognize some of our guests today too. So, on this important occasion, I want you all, and please, guests, as I say your names, please feel free to stand, wave, let folks know you're here. We have Andrea Ray with the Tacoma Pierce County Chamber. And don't hold your applause. We believe in giving folks their flowers, so let's do that. Sarah DeVell, Office of Congresswoman Strickland. Melissa Littleton with the Governor's Office. Caddy Crabtree with Congresswoman Emily Randall. Amanda DeShazo, Executive Director of Tacoma Community Affordable Housing Consortium. Jason Gauthier, Manager of Southtown Housing Affordability Partners. He's right there. Can't miss him. Gail Neal with the Multicultural Child and Family Hope Center. Is Gail here? Thank you, Gail. Also Brian Neal with the Multicultural Family and Hope Center. Brian here. List Puget Sound, do we have a representative from List Puget Sound? Thank you so much for joining us. Lauren McGowan, thank you, Lauren. I know Lauren. Good to see you, Lauren. It's been a couple years. Maisha Barnett, descendant of the Connor family, please. Thank you, Maisha, for being here. It's important. Marty Koistro with the Civic Commons. Got Marty here. Jamaica Scott, Council Member, District Number 3, Tacoma City Council. Juan Beltran with U.S. Senator Murray's office. Juan here. Kathy Littman, CEO and President of Greater Tacoma Community Foundation. Thank you, Kathy. Stacy Guanola with the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation. Okay. We have King 5 in the house. Yes? Where you at? Felicia Medlin, City of Tacoma Housing Division Manager. Yeah. Liz Larder with the Office of Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Moving forward, and there's many, if we didn't catch your name, there's so many folks, and it's not too late. There are so many hands that are here. We have a special moment also for someone that's been key that will come later on in the program. Y'all all right? Yes. You ready to hear some stuff? Yes. Some things? So, Next, I want to introduce you to someone that I've gotten to know over the course of the last year as I've joined Homestead. Miss Cheryl Jackson Williams. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Y'all know, people that know me, y'all know I can talk. I want to say a lot of things. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let our work speak for itself, and then the folks that are more qualified than me to do the rest. Welcome, please, with Homestead Community Land Trust, our leader, Ms. Cheryl Jackson Williams. I got a love for you.
Thank you so much for having me here, as well as Homestead Community Land Trust. I am just beaming with excitement today because it's our honor to stand before you today in the company of esteemed elected officials, their staff, the media, and most of all, our beautiful community that has fought so hard to make sure that this remains a place for those that came before us, for the legacy of what they built. And I am pleased to announce that Homestead has acquired this property with the, but that's not all, because sometimes there's organizations that acquire property and they acquire it for themselves. We want to be very clear. We have media here, we have community here. So we want to be very clear that Homestead has acquired this property on the intent of holding it on the behalf of community and with the intent of engaging community to determine what will be built here, who will build it, and who will occupy these spaces here after development. And that is the important part of being a partner with community and holding land space. We would like to extend our thanks to the Washington State Housing Finance Commission for providing the financing to complete the purchase. We would also like to thank the City of Tacoma and the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation for providing vital information and support through the acquisition process. We appreciate and understand that this property holds great promise for providing community-governed, affordable housing and commercial space. And this is important for Homestead to explain why we are here, because for us, that is who we are. That is what we're built on. We are about placemaking. We are about being able to appreciate the pieces that come with being in community and the passions of our community members and being able to partner with them to make development dreams come true. So for us, this is not a fly-by-night decision. Homestead was doing this work before it was sexy. We'll continue to do the work, even as our federal government goes towards different lines of appreciation. Because this is who we are. We stand on business, and we stand with our community. And I want to preface that Homestead is here due to both invitation and obligation. We were invited numerous times to come into Pierce County to do various developments. And we said no, because one of the things about a community land trust that is so important is to have a trusted partner in community when you are doing development. Because the trusted partners in community drive what that development looks like, not Homestead. So it was important for us to be able to appreciate, to cultivate that, and then deliver as a partner. And when we talk about us as a partner, we understand that we are we have a place-based organizational philosophy. What that means is we are looking to our community to give us feedback, to engage us, to lead us, and how they want us to work with them. We also appreciate and understand that there may be different perspectives, but the one thing that we hold true as Homestead is that we are centering the voice of those that have been left out of the conversation when it comes to housing affordability and equity and access. And we also understand that we sit at a point of privilege as a housing developer, where we are able to access spaces, places, conversations, and resources that our brothers and sisters who are trying to do housing affordability within their neighborhoods are unable to get into. So when we understand that, we focus on that piece and walk into those spaces, centering the voices of our brothers and sisters who are not sitting there. And we do that unapologetically. We don't ask for permission because we were given permission by the community that we represent. So please understand and appreciate we are not here because it's a cute look. We are here because we are dedicated. We are dedicated to this community. We are dedicated to ensuring that you get what you want. We are dedicated to delivering on the promise of the things that have happened previous to us stepping on the shoulders of our ancestors who have been fighting for decades to ensure that this is a place for us by us. And we will not leave until it's done. So our work here in this site is an inaugural acquisition for what we hope will become a fully developed urban land conservancy program to prevent displacement and center community voices in land development in the Pierce and King County. So again, I want to be clear that Homestead has stepped up. We've stepped in. But we are not saviors. We are accomplices to your work. And when I say accomplices, I need to be very clear. Because as we've gone into woke periods of time, there's been folks that have indicated that they are allies. Allies is in word only. An accomplice is a person that is willing to use their influence, willing to leverage their power, willing to take shots, willing to be able to take anything that comes at them as they shield the community that they're supporting, because they understand the importance and the relevance of having affordable home ownership for that community. That is who Homestead is. That's who we'll continue to be. We will not falter when other people do, because we've been doing that all this time. So I just want to introduce you to who we are and say thank you for allowing us to come to your table. And believe me, we'll be bringing the greens, cornbread, yams, whatever you need so that you're sustained. We appreciate the invitation. We appreciate the trust, and we will not falter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cheryl. You got this really low, don't you? Whew. Do you feel a certain kind of energy? Do you feel that's just not me? Okay. So I want to make sure that thinking of what, if you will channel what you just heard from Ms. Cheryl, really want to acknowledge before we go further the artists that have made this space what it is. That is a long and storied history. It is core to part of what has made this place alive. There is a whole, I hope there will be at least a Lifetime movie at some point, but that's a joke, that was a little joke. It was my ad-libs, it doesn't work sometimes. But really the idea of the stories, this is a storied place. We have artists that are in residence right now. You're not allowed to go into their spaces. That's why they're dividers, because they're that hallowed and sacred. Does that make sense? I'm saying it with a smile, but like for real, don't go back into the artist spaces, right? You with me? Because it's important. There's lots of reasons, lots of things that, especially for those of you that I hope continue to follow us, you'll learn more about how important that process has been, who the players were, because they're not all here, and but they all deserve their flowers. And there's so much joy in the Hilltop, there's so much beauty, and Homestead, it was important to us to take the steps to preserve what was done before as the new landholders. And each of the residencies is still intact. Artists are here free of charge. Our partnership with Tupac is stronger than ever. Well, I say that I have a long history with Tupac also, but Tupac's here. We're on Tupac stage and Tupac spaces. Tacoma Urban Performing Arts Center, y'all, if you don't know the Tupac I'm speaking of. I want to thank Tupac and the visual artists who occupy this building for sharing their space with us today. Thank you. And we have a few artists that gave their permission, so please don't touch the art, but there's a couple of things. You can obviously see it on the building. But there are a couple of pieces that artists agree that they're willing to show. They're not for sale. And please don't touch those either, but would you enjoy them and see part of what the fruits of this labor have been? They're just right in the back there. Part of the work we will do and in the community now and in the community in the future is to determine how these works can be showcased in whatever is built on this site or elsewhere in Hilltop. It's part of the beauty of the Community Land Trust model that you will learn about as you follow us over time. Next, I want to introduce my brother, an important man, very important to me, obviously important to Hilltop and the region, Mr. Brendan Nelson of IA, Community Land Trust.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to be with you for such a great moment. I will be honest and tell you I have some remarks written, but as I was driving down the street this morning, I was just struck to just come from my heart. So I'm a Hilltop native. Our family moved here in 1989 for a better opportunity. My parents wanted something better for the kids and for our family. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Moving from Texas to Washington, very, very different. I grew up just right down the street. And this moment is important to me for many reasons. And I struggled a lot this week as to what to share, holding a lot of emotions and feelings. But I had a conversation with my mom last night, and she said, don't forget the why. Why are you doing this work? Why are you all doing this work together? Aya is important to me because in 1996-97, my family was displaced from this community. A community that I called home for many years, to be pulled away from a community that you love, to not to be able to play with your friends at People's Park, going to the corner store, getting the penny candies. So this is important. I didn't know the difference between renting a home and owning a home growing up. I just knew we had a nice home. And reflecting back to what my dad was told by the landlord, I will rent to you, but I won't sell to you. And this is part of why I exist. Those types of conversations, those types of injustices can't continue. We have to stand up for this community. We have to lift up our voices when we see injustice, and particularly around housing. And we know that this is a historically black neighborhood, and our black community has been pushed away. So I'm honored to be able to do this work with so many amazing people. Thank you, Jeff, for calling us together. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize the founding leaders of the IA Community Land Trust. And I want you to know that the IA is just not about housing. IA will be about supporting and preserving culture and strengthening this neighborhood in partnership with all those who want to journey with us, and ensuring that everybody has the opportunity to live with dignity. So please join me in just honoring and paying respect to our founding leaders. As I call your name, please stand so you can be recognized. Latasha Palmer. Yes. Dion Bonner. Sandra Daniels. Cassandra Williams. And we have Rashid Wortham joining us online. He's not feeling well today, but we're so grateful. We are so grateful for this team, the founding leaders, and I encourage us all to think about what is your why. Thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. Next, moving right along, really special place for me, and I know for many others. I want to recognize Mr. Jeff Robinson. Jeff, would you stand? I'm saying more than that, just so you know. But I want to make sure I got you recognized first. So, Jeff Robinson is a certain someone, you saw him, who played a special role in the purchase of this property. So Jeff Robinson recently retired from the city of Tacoma. We were introduced to this property because of Jeff as a potential ownership opportunity, knowing that we would be faithful to the community's desires for this property. And we thank you for that. Jeff supported Homestead in completing the purchase on behalf of the community. He worked tirelessly until Jeff and his team, until the day he left the city to identify partners and resources that would make a project successful. So as you all know, everybody's grown here, I think you've been through things. You know there's what you see, and there's like all the stuff, the weighty work that happened before that no one will ever see. They don't know the stories, they don't know the pain points, all the different stuff. This man and the team that we've had surround us, they know the deal, and so that's why we want to give props today. Can you give another hand for my man? Yeah, let's see. I also want to introduce you to another key supporter of our work, and I'm honored to introduce the new Pierce County Executive, can't forget that, Mr. Ryan Mello. And before you clap, I want to give you a little backstory before you see him. So when Mr. Mello, do I say Mr. Mello or do I say Pierce County Executive? Can I say Mr. Mello? Executive Mello, thank you. I got to have the rules. Y'all know I'm not in the seat. Executive Mello. Ryan said, no, give me my title, damn it. When our journey began, he served in the Pierce County Council and recognized the critical need to build capacity for community land trusts in our region. Through his leadership, competitive grant funds were made available to support the establishment of community land trusts. Thank you. Enabling us to accelerate the creation of AYA Community Land Trust. In addition to his commitment to equitable housing, Executive Mello, says it right there, has long championed sustainable development, environmental stewardship, and community-driven initiatives that improve the quality of life for all residents of Pierce County. It is with deep gratitude and appreciation for his vision and dedication that we welcome the newly elected Executive for Pierce County, Mr. Ryan Mello.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It is so great to be here. I am absolutely delighted to be here on this really beautiful morning. The sun is shining. What a great morning to celebrate a really historic announcement. So really, on behalf of the nearly 1 million residents of Pierce County, it's my true honor. I'm absolutely thrilled to celebrate this project that really will change lives for generations to come. Jeff, thank you for pausing to call out the amazing Jeff Robinson. I'm so glad you did that. Jeff and I were texting this morning, getting ready this morning. I see a text from Jeff Robinson. Sorry, Jeff, for letting the bag out. But I got a text from Jeff knowing that we're going to be here together this morning to celebrate. And just like we know that Homestead is going to keep their promise to this community, and that AYA Community Land Trust is going to keep this sacred promise to this community, so too Jeff's text to me this morning was really simple, and it was, I promised you a land trust and I delivered. And I said, yes, you did, my friend. Yes, you did. Congratulations. Jeff mentioned it in the introduction, but I was so honored to be able to play a very small role in supporting the really hard work by real people, Homestead, the new Aya Community Land Trust Board. My job was simple and was listening to the community to try to direct resources to try to make a difference. And you know, during the pandemic, right, many of us said that we want to figure out how to come out of this COVID pandemic better than we went into it. We said that, right? We said those words. Many of us said those words. Mayor Woodards and I said those words to each other countless times. And it's one thing to say words, right? It's another thing to show how we come out of the pandemic better than we went into it. My friends, this is an example of coming out of the pandemic better than we went into it, because Pierce County is so proud to have committed $200,000 of American Rescue Plan Act funds to help kickstart the effort to co-create truly affordable housing for residents of the Hilltop by helping to support the capacity building and leadership development of this new Aya Community Land Trust. So thank you for letting us be a seed funder in your work. It's a true honor. It's a true honor. And you know, I didn't come up with the idea. Mayor Woodards, Jeff, others, we know our job is to surround ourselves with smart people, right? That's our job. And to listen to the community, and then you can just feel when a good idea is coming, right? So I was desperate for good ideas and I remain desperate for good ideas in the community building and affordable housing space. And so I called my friend Jason Gauthier, our executive manager at South Sound Housing Affordability Partners. You know, this is our partnership to develop more attainable, affordable housing. And this was, you know, in around 2021, we knew we had flexible American Rescue Plan Act dollars to invest in this community, again, to come out of the pandemic better than we went into it. I called Jason and I said, Jason, I need good ideas. What good ideas do you have? And one of the many good ideas he gave me was, he said, there's a great thing brewing at the Homestead Community Land Trust, and we need to figure out how to bring them to Tacoma, Pierce County. And right, we worked, we got our co-conspirator, Jeff Robinson, involved, and figured out how we could use American Rescue Plan Act dollars, seed funds again. So Jason, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your many good ideas. Jeff, for your tenacity. Jeff Robinson, for your tenacity. Everyone else, right? This site that will be new homes for so many, new prosperity, new wealth generation for so many new families. Can we be real with each other for a moment? Can we be real with each other for a moment? This property has gone, there's been some challenges, right? Let's be real. I happen to live about 6 blocks away. I happen to have the great honor of also serving on the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation Board, who's been an investor in this property for some time. Thank you for recognizing the investment of the Community Foundation, who too wants to continue to be a partner and listen and just be an instigator of good change. So I've followed this property for a long time. Many of you have. Brendan, thank you for your long-time leadership on the Hilltop to bring change and bring investment and what this community deserves. We've had our challenges in making this property what this community deserves and what this community is worth, right? I am confident that Homestead Community Land Trust and the new Aya Community Land Trust is absolutely the partners that we can trust to bring this community together, to do it authentically, boldly, and creatively with this community. And so, Kathleen, thank you for your investment. Thank you for being here. I am so thrilled to have Pierce County be a small part. I hope you invite us to be a part of the future development. You know, I wanna close by just sharing. You know, we have a theme for our new administration as the new Pierce County executive, our theme is Forward Together. Our theme is Forward Together, building communities that are safe, welcoming, and connected. And, you know, we're going to have a new thing at Pierce County where we really call out and name Forward Together moments. And I have the great opportunity, Mayor Woodards, we're on day 22 of helping to lead Pierce County, and we get to call this moment, this announcement, our first Forward Together moment. I can't think of a better illustration, right? I can't think of a better illustration of this opportunity, this announcement, this opportunity this community has in front of it to build safe, welcoming, and connected communities. This has all of the sound of all of that. So this is our first Forward Together moment. We look forward to building many more Forward Together moments, but deep gratitude, deep applause, and appreciation, right? We're just getting started. We have a long road ahead of us to do the huge work. Developing property is no joke, my friends. Developing a truly affordable housing in community that is authentic, no joke, very difficult. So long road ahead. I am confident we have the right partners assembled to do this right, and I'm so looking forward to the promise and the opportunity that is ahead. So congratulations on this Forward Together moment. We look forward to being a partner with you for a very long time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Executive Mello. This morning, as we awaited your presence, and thank you again for being here, out in the sidewalk that you came through, there's a moment, I was speaking with Kathleen, and I saw this brother come through, and he was giving me he's giving me eyes, and I said, Kathleen, excuse me, let me go talk to this man. Never met him before. And he said, what's going on? And so we had a chat, because there's lots going on, as y'all have, you've heard a little bit, there's lots more to come. But what ended up happening, there is a mural outside on this side by an amazing man, amazing artist, Dika Bell. He's my friend also, I'm happy to say. And on his piece, he made sure his piece that is an ode to Hilltop, the Hilltop that he grew up in and loves and still lives in, he made sure it was about elders. And if you haven't got a chance to see it, you must see it before you leave. So it has folks from George Putnam Riley to Ms. Tough, which I hear the legendary stories, but I didn't get to know, ma'am. But when we were looking over, he said something. He said, that's my sister. And y'all help me. This is the part. I didn't get to know her story. Last name Quincy. That's not who's from Hilltop. Quincy Walker. Yeah, that's the last name. Quincy's her first name. Thank you. So she's one of the ones when Adika put her up there. I'm off script, and I'm only going to make it fast, I promise. She's one of the folks who Adika put on there. I didn't actually know their story. I didn't get a chance, and this has been years now, right? And so in a moment, this brother's coming through. We're about the same age, I'm going to guess. We get to meet. That's his sister. That's his sister, one of our elders that we admire and we honor. And he's here right now, and he said, when he heard about what, because I've been being super closed-lipped for a long time, y'all, and it was nice to be able to say something this morning, because there's other people about to know I can say it to you, bro. He said, thank God. And he said, how can I be a part? And I just felt like I had to say this right now so that y'all know some of the gravitas that we're talking about. So take that, you're welcome. Dry your tears, be happy. So again, thank you, Executive Mello. It is an honor to welcome our next guest. I don't even say guest. It's an honor to welcome the next leader, because it's not yeah. Sorry about that. I apologize for that. Lifelong advocate for Tacoma. You know who I'm talking about now, obviously. Lifelong advocate for Tacoma and proud champion of the Hilltop neighborhood where she grew up. Her deep roots in Hilltop inspire her tireless work to uplift the community and ensure its residents thrive. As a former president of the Tacoma Urban League, she has been a strong voice for economic empowerment and social equality. laying the groundwork for policies that prevent displacement and foster equitable development. Mayor Woodards' leadership embodies her vision for Tacoma that honors its history while building a brighter, more inclusive future for all. I want to welcome my fellow Army dependent and connected person, and someone that I've got a lot of mentorship through over the years, and I don't know that she knows that, so I'm telling you right now. Mayor Woodards.
Thanks, Jeff. What a day. What a day, what a day. I think I want to start where Ryan ended and say, can we be real for a moment? I'm just going to be honest. I know that cameras are here, but I'm going to just tell the truth. When I drove into the parking lot today, and I walked in this building, part of me said, will it really happen this time? I was here when we celebrated the purchase of the building, which was a lot of hard work, and I was so excited that we finally got a hold of this building and got it out of the hands of the people who just wanted it to sit here empty and fallow. And so I walked in and I saw the people. I'm like, I've seen these people here before. A lot of these faces I've seen here before. But Cheryl, when you got up here and spoke, this is my first day meeting you, and I've even seen the work of Homestead. Had a tour of some work that you did in Tukwila, and I was like, oh my gosh, we got to have this in Tacoma, all excited. But Cheryl, when I heard you speak, I felt the power, not just in your words, but in you. And I sat in that chair and I said, this is it. This is it. This will happen. And all that doubt I had when I walked in the door went away. What I want to commit to both you and Kathleen, and I already said this to Kathleen. Now, Jeff may be retired, but Brian, he didn't call me, but as soon as I walked in the door, the first thing he said to me is, I promise you I'd get it done. And he did. But I want to say to the two of you, at least for the 12 months I've got left, if there is anything that the city of Tacoma can continue to do to support you in this work, this is an important project for Hilltop, for this entire city, but it's personal for me because I got to be a part of helping to make sure that we could purchase this property. And so I want you to know that we stand with you, that I personally am here to support you, whether that means being in front of you to dodge bullets, because let me tell you, I'm not an advocate, I'm an accomplice. I will take a bullet and use everything I have to make sure that this project gets done. And I know with your leadership, it's going to happen. So thank you so much for making this commitment to our community, but selfishly to my community. Thank you so much. Can we give Homestead another round of applause? Now that excitement that I thought I wasn't going to find when I walked in the door, I got. And I am thrilled to be standing here again, as Ryan said, in this historic moment. But I also know that I don't stand here alone. And I'm just going to start. I want to acknowledge two people in the room who this project is also very important to because they actually represent this district. And that is, again, Councilmember Jamika Scott. Jamika, I saw you come in. Where are you? There she is. That's Tacoma City Council member Jamika Scott. And then we also have Pierce County Council member Lord Ayala. Rosie. Sorry, Rosie. I'm sorry, Rosie. This is what happens. Well, I am a preview of coming attractions for all of you. Rosie Ayala, would you please stand up, Rosie? Thank you so much. Rosie's 22 days in, just like Ryan. Or no, maybe a few days less than 22, but Rosie represents this district at the county level, and it's so good to see the both of you here representing your district and being part of the work that's happening in your district. What's going to happen here in this space? This neighborhood is already being transformed. But what's going to happen here is going to make sure that not this neighborhood is just transformed, but those who lived here before the transformation get to stay here as the neighborhood transforms. You know, gentrification is real, but this gives us an opportunity to really prove that just because new development comes into a community or just because more investment comes into a community doesn't mean that it belongs to somebody who's not here. That people who live in this community, people who have made Hilltop what it is, deserve to have housing like what's going to be built on this site. I remember my girlfriend who lives right across the street from what was McCarver, now name changed. And when they were remodeling it, she said to me, so who's going to go to school in that building after it's done? Because sometimes our community believes that when something good happens in their neighborhood, when investment comes, that it's not for them. And so she said, well, are kids from the North End going to come and go to school here? I said, no. This school, which is now Edna Travis Elementary School, is going to be for the kids who went there before. And she said, really? I said, absolutely. So this is going to confirm, like that confirmed, that this community and those who live in it deserve the absolute best. And I say that, as I told you earlier, I don't say that from a place of hope. I say that because I've seen what they've done in other communities. And that commitment is not to just build something fast and cheap. Their commitment is to build something that is of quality that will last, that when people move in and have an opportunity to purchase their home, that they know that it's quality and it's for them. So I am thrilled. This is going to go. We have a commitment at the city of Tacoma to build 6,000 new affordable units by 2028. Felicia, we're going to get it done. And Jeff, I'm going to come to you and say, I told you we were going to get it done, and we did. So congratulations to Aya, to the members of this community land trust as you work side by side to learn even more how to do this work. I can't wait. And Homestead, I love you. I want y'all to continue to invest in Tacoma, but I can't wait till Aya's standing up here leading a project in Tacoma. That's what's going to come. That's what's going to come from this. And so to the 6 founding members, congratulations and thank you so much for believing. I know you're from this community. I shouldn't say not just believing in this community, but believing that you could, because trust me, we all know this ain't easy. This is not easy. But your commitment to this community is going to last for generations and generations. And when you all are done, other people are going to be able to come in and pick up the mantle. And this land trust, born in Hilltop, will stay in Hilltop and will be our guiding light. So thank you all so much. Please give them a round of applause. And finally, I want to challenge all of us in this room. Those of you who have already done the work, like Kathy Littman and Jason Gothier and others who I can't see because I need glasses. But those of you who have done the work, and for those of you who have participated, I want to challenge you as we continue to go forward. And for those of you who are just beginning to be a part of, I want to challenge all of us to make sure that as this project moves forward, that number one, we tell the truth to everyone about it, that we offer grace when things don't go exactly as planned, because we know what do they say? We make plans, God laughs. And so I want to make sure that we give grace, and that number 3, we stay connected and supported, and that we all make sure, we all got to push this boulder up the hill together. And if we all touch that rock and push it together, I know we'll make it to the top. And I can't wait to be here the day we cut the ribbon. Y'all call me back, even if I'm in a wheelchair or a rock or whatever. Bring me back, because I want to be here when we cut the ribbon on this place for Hilltop. Thank you all so much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Woodards. You reminded me when you were speaking, Mayor, something that there's a man in this audience right now and that I've worked with in the past and has always been kind to me and good to me. And he said, Jeff, we chose the rough side of the mountain. He's sitting down in his chair right now, just so you know who he is, right, with a dapper hat, and he looks amazing. So thank you so much. Before I introduce the next speaker, I want to take a few moments to talk about what's been going on in the briefest way before you'll get some detail from the next speaker, but about why I stand before you right now. So first, as far as the origin story, this connection to Homestead, please know first, before I even take it to the quasi-personal piece for me, community land trusts were created in the 60s and 70s during the civil rights movement by black folks in Georgia. And part of the legacy, I say this, and hopefully I'm not getting trite when I say it, because it just means so much. I know it's just so many of us. Making a way out of no way. That's what was going on. There's a whole voting situation. I won't go through the whole things, because many of you know the deal. There are those of you in this room, like, it was your life also, right? So just acknowledging that too. But being in a situation where, nope, you can't do that, no, you can't do that. Well, what can we do? Why don't we figure out a way to do what we need to do? So that's part of the legacy that we're bringing that we're working with this community and with so many of you to come to fruition with the Community Land Trust. It was made as a way to thread a needle, a needle that didn't have a hole in it at the time. So community land trusts are based on the security of a collectively owned land, and also they remove homes, farms, businesses, and cultural assets from the speculative market. That's very important that you know that. So part of there's a very deep connection to land banking when it comes to community land trust, and that's part of the beauty. There's lots more to community land trust that you'll follow. Please do follow if we have. We'll make sure that you have the website before you leave. You can learn lots more because there's a lot for us to connect with to get deep into community land trust. You won't understand how community land trust, if today's your first stab at them, you won't fully understand them all today. Does that make sense? Y'all with me? Am I making sense? Okay. So, as far as for current and future generations, in the classic community land trust like Homestead, homeowners are members of the trust and have voting rights. You're going to get more of this information from the expert coming up. And the model of home ownership that's provided by Community Land Trust is that it offers income-qualified buyers the opportunity to purchase the home at far below market value. And you'll learn more about that again. I keep saying that, don't I? I want you to know there's more. There's more. You're not going to get the full itch scratch today, but there's a lot more, and it works. And there's proof, and there's already standing people that live in them. So I'll move forward and get you with the real expert on this. I want to introduce a woman that I've gotten to know over the last 2 years, serendipitously, and then turned out to be the culmination of my life's work. Someone that's really special to me and that I appreciate to no end. This is the leader of Homestead Community Land Trust. It is Kathleen Hosfeld. Welcome.
And I know the executive needs to leave, so he's not making a statement by walking out whenever he walks out. Want y'all to know. Thank you all, executive, mayor, and everyone who's here today. So excited to have you here. So excited to share this news. My role primarily is to tell you what happens next. And as we meet here today, we've heard some truth-telling, and that's really important. We have to center our conversation and how we go forward today in the truth. And this is a transformative moment, but it also calls for deep awareness and deep reckoning. And it's important for me as the leader of Homestead to give voice to some of these things. Many of you, either here this morning or within the sound of my voice over the internet, have an authentic and equity-centered connection to the Hilltop. And we bear witness to the work you have already done and still hope to do to bring justice and abundance to the Hilltop. We see you. I and the members of Homestead and IA teams also see, feel, and carry the weight associated with this property and the anger and grief drawn from a history of displacement, gentrification, and marginalization of the historic residents of this neighborhood. We acknowledge the loss of trust resulting from many broken promises, both recent and centuries in the making. Neither I nor Homestead nor IA have it within our power to heal all of this. And the one project we undertake here is not an answer to all that needs to be done. But we are here to serve. What we can do and commit ourselves to doing is to attend this present moment and listen to those who are ready to move forward together and create something new together. Community land trusts are founded on that strength of collective action and shared solidarity. I still believe, in spite of our national conversation that's going on, I still believe in the wisdom of community. My colleagues in Homestead and IA Community Land Trust are dedicated to increasing access to decision-making instead of privileging the voices of the charismatic, the wealthy, or the powerful. I believe when hearts and minds are centered on love and respect, that even those who disagree about certain things can come together on things they share in common. And it is with faith in that we will be launching a community listening process for the development of this property that will inform what gets built, who builds it, and who occupies this property in the future. Members of the Hilltop community have participated in numerous engagement processes over many years, led by a variety of organizations and leaders, and designed to discern community will in particular contexts. Many great things have come from those processes. We are inspired by the prior work that has been done. We respect this work and are grateful to those who led the processes and participated in them. However, we must set our work apart from the processes that have gone before, without disconnecting from the people who participated or ignoring what has already been said. We can't rewrite history in the pages that came before us, but we can and we must turn the page and start a new chapter. A separate and distinct engagement process is needed now to update community, take into account what has changed, what has not changed with the passage of time, and learn or confirm what the community wants for this property. So this process will have two different aspects. One, determining what will be built at the site, and by implication, who will occupy it after it's built, and determining who will develop the site and build the structures. To this end, we will be working with IA Community Land Trust and other partners on a deep listening process. A rough outline of that process is included in your handout today, and it will be posted on both Homestead's and IA's websites. And we will provide a link for people to sign up to participate in those efforts. We want to stress nothing has happened yet. The only thing that we've done is purchase this property. We have intentionally not gone forward with any specific processes until we have a chance to listen to community. So today's the day. Moving forward, you have that opportunity. As we manage this process, we will make mistakes. We have already made mistakes. Grace, thank you. When we have caused or will cause harm, we will take responsibility, apologize, take steps to repair, and integrate what we learn into how we go forward. But we cannot be immobilized by a fear of failure. Are you with me? Fear of failure will only hold us hostage to an unjust status quo. We also want to be honest. We have a bias. Homestead is a developer of affordable home ownership opportunities for income-qualified households, and we prioritize those who have been displaced or who are at risk of displacement. We share this commitment with Community Land Trust, and we hope to confirm that this aligns with the community's priorities for this property. But based on community input, it may be necessary to involve other developers to ensure that this property is developed in alignment with the community's vision. So we will collaborate with neighbors and community members to establish clear criteria for selecting developers for the property. These criteria will likely emphasize local and minority hiring practices, experience with community-led projects, because those are different beast, a commitment to equitable development, and alignment with community values. And we are committed to providing transparency in the final selection process for who will develop the property. As we work together, it's important that Homestead provide practical advice to the community about what is achievable within the constraints of time, funding, and other resources. We have a reputation for getting things done. Doing that means working within the established structures and systems that support affordable housing, while always advocating for higher and more equitable outcomes. To those of you who want development of home ownership to begin immediately without this process, we say we must rebuild community trust as a foundation of a successful outcome. Our official policy of community partnerships at Homestead quotes the African proverb, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." We want to go far together. I will not paint a rosy picture of an easy and quick outcome. Development of a property this large, with as much potential as it holds, is visionary. This will not be easy. It will not happen overnight. Development of this site will stretch every single interested person and resource in Pierce County and the city of Tacoma to their limits. And furthermore, preserving what will be built here will take a network of partners. And that is why we are all called here today. Together we can. Together we will. Together, led by community, we will transform this property into a vibrant hub that serves the Hilltop, its historic, current, and future residents. Together, we will write that new chapter. Are you with us? Are you with us? One of my teachers from history is the theologian Howard Thurman, an advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. and Sr., a spiritual advisor. In his book, The Search for Common Ground, he writes, "There is a spirit in us and in the world working always against that thing that destroys and lays waste. Always we must know that the contradictions of life are not final or ultimate. We must distinguish between failure and a many-sided awareness so that we not mistake conformity for harmony or uniformity for synthesis. In our diversity, without expecting uniformity. We all need to tap that spirit that works against the forces of despair and darkness. We all need to distinguish between failure and greater awareness of how the seeds of the future are present in the shell of the old. We stand on the shoulders of all who have come before us, and whatever is accomplished at this property will not occur solely because Homestead stepped up and stepped in, or that Aya Community Land Trust came into being, as important as that is. It will be because we all stepped up and stepped in whatever ways were available to us. We at Homestead look forward to working with all of you to fulfill the promise and purpose of this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen, all of our guests. Grab some cookies on the way out. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you. What'd I do?